Hey everyone, it's Lisa Sweeney here from Business in Heels, and I'm joined today by the lovely Sally Sparks Cousins. Hey Sally.
Hey, Lisa, so lovely to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is the last one in our Breaking the Bias series of great interviews, and we've heard from all sorts of different women breaking biases in all different ways. So, Sally, tell us a little bit about how you're breaking the bias.
Well, I'm not only the first woman. Well, my younger sister, who's 9 years younger than me, does actually work now, but I'm the first woman in the long line of the Sparks family to actually work outside of the family home. But not only that, run my own business, which is awesome. And for a very long time, and I still don't think my mum really sees it. But they didn't really think I was running a real business.
Yeah. Real business.
A real business. Like, because they've all, my nan used to set the dinner table and the breakfast table and do the vacuuming and all the things. My dad still, 30 years, his socks have been in the same drawer, calls to my mum, Heather, where are my socks, love? And she leans over him and pulls out his socks. And so for a long time, my mum would tell me, don't work so hard, look after your husband and all of the things. So, yeah, I suffered from a lot of mother's guilt, especially when I first started. And I was going to prove that to them, no matter how much they didn't think I had a real job, that one day I would earn more than my husband.
Yeah, and that happened quite early on then, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, I did actually start in network marketing, and I was really successful in there. I was the top team builder in all of the APAC region, but I had been always trying to work out a way to turn $1 into two. And I learnt from a very young age with my grandparents, they used to do the Sunday markets. Mm-hmm. So we would go along to the Sunday market. If you're from Geelong, Beckley Park, that's where we were. It originally started at Corio Village, and then they moved to Beckley Park. That's how long ago it was. And we used to line up first in the gate every morning. So I had a lot of time to kill after we were set up with like 6 hours before the market opened. So I would walk around and buy things at the local market and then bring them back to my grandparents' table and sell them. And then I would even buy things and take them that I think the kids would like and sell them on the playground in primary school to kids, like these little jewelry bracelets. I don't remember if anyone remembers back in the 80s, there were these little yin yang bracelets that you could kind of like snap on, and you remember those?
Yep, totally. Yep.
Well, I found a lady, she was selling a big box of these for like 20 cents each. And so I bought the whole box. And then, the entrepreneur in me, which I didn't know I was an entrepreneur back then, was like, oh, one color, $1, two colors, $2, three colors, $3. And so I sold them on the playground. I had hundreds of them and made, a lot of money for a little kid back then. And then, I would do things with my hands. I'd knit covers for coat hangers so that you didn't get the little things, and sell them at the markets, and then even busking on the street when I was a little older. So I always had something going on the side outside of school, or even in when I was working, like I was in corporate for a number of years and hated it. So I've always known that your actions can generate revenue, and finally I've kind of found my happy place after lots of experimentation.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I guess you had a lot of bias that you faced from your family, and it's hard for them to understand why, no doubt, you're working as hard as you are. Go on.
I did end up in therapy, actually, in the early days when I was back in my network marketing days as well, because some people have a bias against network marketers. They don't think it's a real job. And it is. It's actually real people selling real products that they really like to other people, which is like every other business owner out there.
Pretty much.
And so that already came with a bias in itself when people weren't educated of what network marketing was. And it wasn't until they were flying me to America and I was winning big trophies and, you know, that the family actually finally saw that maybe there's something to this. And then I also went back and I studied to increase my skill set as well in my 30s. And I ended up in therapy. Mother guilt, really, really bad. I was feeling like, you know, I had to be cleaning. I had to be cooking. My husband now does all the cleaning. He now does all the cooking. I keep saying to him, if you don't like it, I'll hire somebody. And he brings me coffee. Oh, and juice. Thank you, husband. He says, just buy me more records, and he's happy. So, I'm really lucky in that aspect, but it took a really long time to, I guess, prove to people that what I was doing wasn't just a fad. And especially, I guess, in being the first woman in my entire line, not only to work, but to start their own business. That was super hard, especially when every time mum would come and visit, she would say, look after your husband more, spend time more with your husband. I'm like, one day my husband will retire because of me. I will make more money than him. But she just didn't get it. She just didn't understand. And I don't think she still actually sees it as a real business because I still work from my shed.
And I think it's about, so as you said before, I think surrounding yourself with potential role models, other like-minded people, and getting out of your own head, right?
Yeah, well, look, I've been a member of Business in Heels for a long time now, and it's because of the people that I'm surrounded by. You know, I'm looking forward to the back in-person conference days again, but even in the online virtual events that you guys run, you know, I always put my hand up to help because I get to hang out with you all and, you know, not only talk business, but talk struggles and just network with people that get it. And you don't have to kind of explain your choices. You know, everyone wants to learn from each other. And I mean, the Business in Heels network is, you know, one of the best networks around. I love it. I'm always joining every year. it's in the budget because it is being able to surround yourself by those people that are in the same headspace as you. And you can't expect your family to be your everything, right? Even though you might get married and you want your partner to be your everything, you know, I guess as we've, you know, been together for over 20 years now, we've really realized that we can't be each other's everything. We also need to find people that fill the void in the areas that they don't. So, you know, therapy and just talking to people has really, has sort of cemented that. And I think it's come with age and experience as well to get to this point too.
Yeah. Oh, look, thanks so much, Sally, for sharing your story. It sounds like you were born an entrepreneur anyway, natural tendencies, but to break the biases of the generations and your family and all that. And I know you've done extraordinarily well with the business that you're running. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
You're welcome. Always, Lisa. I love hanging out with you. And I mean, what you've created here in this community is absolutely amazing. I mean, all women should be in this community. It is such a great place for people to hang out in. And I do appreciate what you do for people like myself and other business women out there too.
Thanks, Sally. I appreciate it. All right. You've heard from Sally about breaking the bias. If that resonates with you, you've got some really good ideas on how you can tackle it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Lisa.